I just had a quick question. Just, obviously Kanye came out bipolar. You mentioned some moments where he snaps or has a change of heart. Has he ever taken anything out on you? And if so, how did you deal with that?
I mean, I don't know. Like early on, like he would kind of get really like animated about something, and I was like trying to figure something out, and I was like, yeah. And to be honest, like I never necessarily witnessed. It was quite a surprise to me to be like, I don't know that he came out as bipolar. I don't know if I agree with that statement.
Okay.
Like, but whatever the case may be, I don't think you have to be bipolar to be experiencing anxiety,
right,
stress,
right,
the stress of being in the spotlight, the stress of like, I don't think you even have to be famous, right? Like we all deal with really challenging circumstances that can like fray your nerves and make it really hard to be a human alive. So anyway, it's my piece on that. I think it's important what you're saying,
totally.
like to acknowledge that.
Right.
But like it was kind of early on when I was saying like when you kind of get animated and gesticulate and I say, hey, you don't have to like get upset or like if just give me a second and I'll figure it out. And he's like, oh, I just talk like that. So early on it was kind of like a culture of like permission to maybe turn up the volume of your emotions with the understanding that I'm not upset with you. I'm not going to cancel you. I'm not going to kick you out of the session.
Right.
Tomorrow, it's all good. It's all love. It's like it's kind of like an Italian family. They get a little basta. They get a little heated. But at the end of the day, it's an overwhelmingly positive environment. And I don't know. I think also Kanye and I, we have that in common. Like we get passionate about something. Our emotions can like get us carried away. Like I'm like that too.
Right.
And I can understand that, like, I think we're maybe, he in his big Thanksgiving speech, he kind of talked about, like, I'm experiencing it too. Like, you grow a little older, you learning how your words affect people. First, your passion is carrying you away and nothing matters except reaching your goal or being passionate about, like, what you're trying to do. And then you start learning how to, I mean, that's the thing Jay-Z's, like, amazing with you asking kind of the differences, like, learning how, I mean, I put it this way. I'm learning recently, it's like, you can either be right or you can get what you want. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes proving to someone you're right is just going to piss them off and you're not going to get what you want out of the situation. So learning to listen more, how to take a breath and make sure your words land in the right way, is something I'm learning. Also having a kid, it's like you're learning like how like, oh, like if I just make them do something, he's not going to want to do it. If I kind of like listen or kind of forcing someone's not going to, they're only going to push back. And it's like, oh, grown-ups are like that too, like just pushing. And I think there's a lot of kind of like alpha male behavior that you gotta be the boss. It's like, yeah, you can live in that world too, but it's also how you communicate and on express, creating a connection, building connections with people rather than causing friction or destroying them. That's all stuff I'm learning, and I think Kanye is really good at that too. I think there's kind of 95% behind the scenes.
Right.
It's much more kind of patient and thoughtful discussion and listening. I think maybe you've heard of that too. I think people kind of get little drips and drabs of that, of how this is what Kanye sessions like. What do you think of that? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? It's not him ranting on it. It's like he goes on the rant after he's done the field research of asking like hundreds of people their thoughts, and then he kind of processes it.
Right.
And then sometimes the passion gets carried away and stuff, but to me, there's usually been like an overwhelmingly thoughtful and kind of equal exchange of ideas and kind of bringing issues into the light in order to examine them rather than just have a one-sided view or, just to talk to people. I think usually with Kanye, like you see too, like if there's a problem, like he'll address it,
Right.
and that's the most important thing is to just address things rather than not address them. And sometimes that's a little messy,
Right.
but better to address it than not. Right?
Totally. Totally. I love it. Man, well, as we wrap, I know you're focused on your artistry. I love how just that you're a father, just evolving. I think that's the goal, right? Always. What are you most excited for next?
Yeah, I mean, I have a number of projects that are going to come out in 2022, that I'm working on. And that's really exciting. Also excited. I'm wrapping up this Portugal the Man album that I've been working on for the last 2 years with them. And they're amazing band. So I'm super excited for that to come out. We're kind of wrapping that up now. And yeah, to kind of get back to kind of like collaborating and being it so kind of like I touched on with the Thug project, like getting back in touch with the quote unquote culture and like just the new kind of a new world we're in and a new generation of creators, and connecting with people again. I'm kind of like continuing to do that. So
sure, that's beautiful.
That's the deal.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. It was so nice to
Any
speak
last
to you.
piano riffs you want to bless us with?
Oh man. Maybe I'll just give you a little bit of the Thug stuff.
Right? Oh my gosh, yes. Encore, encore, encore. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
All right. Peace out.